Thank you all for coming. Today we'll talk about how to grow as a JavaScript developer. So first, my name is Artsiom. I'm software engineering team leader. So first, why you should listen to me, and why it's interesting. So first of all, I have a very big background in IT, so about 8 years. I work as a mentor, so for 3 years, and I train about 50 students. A year ago, I have a big experience with staffing people, so finding them a project inside my company, and we find projects for about 50 people. Now I'm a resource manager for a pool with 45 people in it. Since I'm a RAM, I participate as a resource manager in 8 assessments for the middle title, 4 for senior, and 4 for lead. And overall, I have 56 TI interviews. So this means that I have some experience and understand how to grow as a JavaScript developer. So today we're gonna learn something. Agenda. We will talk about how to grow as a developer, what to do when you're stuck on some level, and we'll talk about managers and technical skill, and how to grow in these areas. First of all, what we will talk about, not all these questions and not all about what we talk about would be asked on interviews, on assessments that you will pass. So this means that we will try to look on all things, and I will provide you materials to cover all the topics that should cover on each level. But you understand, sometimes on interview, when you're trying to pass to some company, you will have interview like, okay, how are you? What is your name? Okay, we're a good person, blah, 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 and so on. And then you can have an offer. Sometimes it happens. The second one, that you need to understand that you would be interviewed by another person. And even in companies that have very good structure of interview, very good process of assessments and so on, there are sometimes people that ask a really stupid questions. So like today I was on assessment and one person asked, what version of HTML do you use? So does anybody know what version of HTML we use? Any arm? Okay, thank you. Because me and my subordinate, we think about several minutes what the version of HTML. Okay, and the last one, it's actually okay not to grow. So if you don't have an interest in it, if you're okay and you feel like you're on your place, there's no need for you to grow and learn. So you need actually to learn to stay on, to be on your place and on your work, because it's always something changing. But it's not mandatory for you to learn to grow into the levels, and to take more responsibility on yourself, because each new level requires that you will take more responsibility for yourself, and it would be more stressful. This work would be more stressful for you if you don't want this responsibility. Okay, first what we have, the junior developers, who they are. This is actually the most complicated step for you, for all of you, how to become the junior developer. First of all, let me ask, are there anyone here who are not in IT? All the developers? Okay, okay, good. Then I think it would be more useful for those who are watching us online. The problem that when you try to switch from your work, from your current work, when you're trying to get this title, you're completely new in it, and you don't know a lot of things that other developers know. And if you all here are in IT, I ask you to be more polite with junior developers when you interview them, because this is a big stress for them. Okay, so what is interesting and how to become. So first of all, when you start, you need to participate in any course. So go to free courses, go to paid courses. It's not really matter, because first of all, you need to check the feedback of these courses, and even free courses are very good, and participate in them. Courses not giving only you knowledges. At the same time, during the courses, you will find new people that will help you to grow. So mentor, or you will find just another developers with which you can describe, you can talk about your work and something interesting that you find. Coding practice, this is actually not only for junior developers, for all, so you should can write a code. And as a junior developers, so as there are no junior developers here, yep, and no students that want to switch to front-end, I hope that there is at least one watching us on YouTube. Remember me, you need to go on these events and try to find here friends to talk with them, and then it would be much easier for you to find a job. One of such events is one of such courses is REST School, so highly recommend you. And for those of us who are not, they also looking for mentors, so I also ask you to find them. So this just open, so you just need to type in Google REST School, join them and participate as a mentor too. Okay. Yeah, and then they actually have very interesting courses. You can take a look. I don't know if it's visible there. You can actually learn Node.js. So if you are a front-end developer, you can switch to Node.js, to AWS. What else? And maybe learn a new framework for yourself. If you use an Angular, then you can learn a React. Okay, let's go to the next level. Who is level 2, a middle developer? So this is people usually, so after a junior developer, it's take for you from 3 to 50 months. It all depends on a lot of things. It depends on what background do you have. So maybe you already have very big background in IT and you just switching from another skill. Yep. So this, I believe, can require you for several months just to become a middle. At the same time, maybe you don't want to push. You want to do your work not very fast. Yep. And this can take a little more than a year. But in general, it will take you about a year to become from junior to middle. About hard skills that you need to develop in yourself. So first of all, this is the core JavaScript. You need to work on your favorite framework like Angular, React, Vue, and you need to practice in coding. So you should solve tasks. Okay, when you're actually a middle developer, there is open a huge variety for you. You can choose some usually small company that pay you already as a senior developer, and this is okay. Yep. At the same time, you can choose not a small company. You can choose a big, usually big company, where there are a lot of people. You can find a lot of interesting people, but they wouldn't actually pay you a lot. But at the same time, they have a lot of lectures and courses to improve you. Why I'm talking about this? Because the best way when you're stuck as a middle developer is to find some courses and find a mentor. In big company that's had a lot of people, it's much easier. There's always some people with big knowledges, and it's not necessary for you to follow this person step by step or ask them to train you like a trainer in gym. So you can learn from him how he do his work and how he talk with other people, with the customer, with the team. Senior developer. So for the senior developer, it's much interesting because senior developer, this is the person that already can make a job very good. So who is this? This is the person that have very big experience. So usually at least 3 years and have very, very good tech skill. This person that already know about software development life cycle. And of course, this person has very good feedback. So he work with good feedback from his company, from his colleagues, from his customer, and can make a very complicated job. For the next step, not all companies has this level. Usually it's called lead developer. So this usually the person with 5 years. So what's required for this person? So this person has perfect tech skill. He's an expert in software development lifecycle. So this person should understand what is CI/CD and how it works. And also, so as this person is lead, this person should understand how to manage the team. And for you to understand what's the difference between lead and senior, you need to understand that lead developer can actually solve any problems that you have on the project. Usually senior developer can solve any technical, but lead developer can even find some person, and help you to find this person and ask this person in polite way to fix the problem if this person makes something. Okay, for lead and also for senior developer, I highly recommend you to work in some competitive environment and try to find it, because when you work in some environment that when you don't have a person that perform on the same level as you, or someone that performs better than you, it would be harder it would be harder for you to learn something new. About resources that I'm talking about. So first of all, about the coding. So highly recommend you to visit the sites CodeWars and LeetCode to try to solve these tasks, because it's very funny, but for a lot of times I saw persons that trying to be senior or lead developer, so come to our company, and the problem is that they cannot write even a cycle. So I don't understand what is the problem to write a cycle. And when you would be asked for something more, it would be very hard for you to do it. Learn Core.js, so I recommend this resource because it's cool, just cool. So just visit it if you have some problems with JavaScript, don't miss it. Roadmap. Roadmap, highly recommend you to open it. So it has a lot of things that you need to learn, because there is a lot of things that are near the development and near the JavaScript development. So like what is HTTP? What statuses server has, so, and why we need to understand this status. Yep, and roadmap for lead developers. So I don't have something specific for you. I just recommend you to read all the books that is called something like lead, how to manage, how to be a leader in the team. Yeah, because there is a lot of really interesting books, and okay, one book I can recommend for you. This is called How to Manage Your Slaves. Okay, okay. Does anybody heard about this? Because it was very popular about 4 years ago, I believe. No?
4 years?
Four. 200? A book, not the methodology. Yeah, it's actually very interesting because when we're talking about slaves, we, in my head especially, I saw something like, you need to say the person to do something and person should do it. But every person has its own motivation to do something. And this one of the books that describe you why you need to work on people motivation and how you should work on it. Yeah, and the last one, Q&A, highly recommend this resource. So because everyone, so we all sometimes has an interview. Sometimes you interview to a new company. Sometimes you interview to a new project, new role inside your company. And it's very good when you have just several questions that you can take a look, answer on them, and understand that this is my gaps. Okay, about this I forget, about this I forget, and right now I remember this. And this is something like you do it very fast. Like open in 30 minutes, yep, and prepare yourself. And maybe remind yourself some words that are very necessary to pronounce. Like, I forget all the words. Okay, let's forget about this. Next, let's talk about the managers and the technical specialists. We will start from the technical specialist. So when you grow to lead developer, this is not the end for you. You actually can grow and make more complicated tasks. So there is a title principal engineer. Actually, in my company, it's called engineer, advanced engineer. Yeah. This is actually like a lead developer, but this is the person that can make any engineering task, not inside your team, but inside all your company. So like you have a problem and this person come to your project, to your team and solve this problem. So fully solve this problem. When you grow in principal engineering, so first of all, what would be the requirements from you? So you need to improve the client business. So you're a technical specialist, but you're aimed to business. You should participate in mentoring, coaching, because you're not working only with principal engineers. So there's a lot of other people, and you need to help them to do their job good. And you're working not only in front-end or back-end side. So you need to be ready to learn new languages and new technologies. Solution architect. Interesting thing. So this is the person that write code less This is the person that built and integrate business solutions. Solution architects should be able to solve technical problems. And this is the person that have more vision on how your system is working and actually design this system. Need to talk about how to become a solution architect, I believe. I highly recommend you to participate and try to get cloud certifications like Azure, like GCP, Azure, GCP, and AWS. Solution architect need to have a deep understanding of application technical design. So this is the person that need to learn more. Learn a lot, and so these knowledges can get only from from the books, and need to read a lot of books about solution architect. Okay, this is actually all technical areas that I know, and we go further to our managers. First is a Scrum Master. So I believe all of you have a Scrum Master on the project, and in a lot of cases, there is a dedicated person that do only this job. So sometimes lead developer on the project can be a Scrum Master too. But on big projects, we have a dedicated person who play this role. Especially when we have not just a Scrum, we have Scrum like a safe methodology when we make big plans and work with a lot of teams and need to understand how these teams should work with each other. When one team make one job and when the team complete the job, another team should start and work with this. So they have some dependency and blockers. For this person, if you want to become a Scrum Master, I highly recommend you to pass a certification for Scrum Master. So this is the easiest way. Project Manager. Project Manager usually play a role of Scrum Master too. And a lot of people, at least with which I talk, they was a Scrum Master in the beginning, but then start to work as a project manager. And as a project manager, you not only working with your team, you working with customer satisfaction, and you're working on how team perform, do the job, and what result do we have. Also, actually, all managers a lot working with escalations when something going not in this way how customer expect. And delivery manager. So this is actually a very interesting thing. So this is the person that should have a technical background. This is the person that usually participate in pre-sales. This is the person that talk with account manager. Account manager, this is the person that make bills, and talk with the customer itself. And make a contract with the customer. And delivery manager, this is the person that sometimes should say stop to customer and say we cannot do it. That's why delivery manager should have this experience in technical area. Okay. To become delivery manager, there is a lot of programs that need to be passed, a lot of certifications, and what can be recommended for you is also, this is actually the only title for which I can recommend to go to university. Because especially get some master degree in managers area. Okay, so this is all from my side. This is the QR code. So if you want to, you can download the presentation. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.
All right. So you described a lot of different career paths. Yeah. Maybe why you choose your way. So how you actually achieved it. Yeah. And what you're going to do next.
Good question, Valentin. Thank you very much. So this is actually why I started to inside my company to learn about this, about what roles do we have, because I was not very sure in which area should I grow. Right now, I'm growing as a resource manager that is not presented on the slides. Yeah, because this is actually a very specific role, and this role is not always presented in all companies, and in companies that are not big, this area is very limited. So you can not grow very much. So in this area, as a resource manager, you can grow only in big companies. So, okay, if you ask about resource manager, let's talk about this a little. So this is the person that is responsible for growth of people inside the company. So, and this is like your lawyer, because when you have escalations or when something goes wrong on your project, this is the person that can help you. And at the same time can help you to grow. So this person will advise you which skills do you need to improve. And also this person should work with a lot of metrics like attrition, like, okay, we wouldn't name these metrics. So the things that this person should keep people to work inside the company, and how this person do like help other people to grow. This is the resource manager's problem. Does it answer your question? You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for the presentation. First of all, I would like to say Hulk as a middle-level hero, I totally disagree.
Sorry?
Hulk as a middle-level hero, disagree completely.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, Black Widow, yeah, probably, but Hulk, come on, it's a crime. And secondly, I would like to ask, you mentioned that we can stay middle until death. And at the same time, you provided some numbers of heroes, which is requirements for different levels. So sooner or later, you will be asked why you still middle. Could you provide some examples of good answers, which won't have some negative impact? Okay,
my first answer about the Hulk. Why Hulk? Because from my experience, middle developers are the most motivated to work, usually more than senior developers, and they really like a Hulk. They do a lot of work. It doesn't matter, but work done. But there is done a lot of work. Yeah. Why you can be forever a middle developer and don't want to grow? Actually, I have very good answer for this, because I don't want to take more responsibility. And this is a fair answer, because it's not okay for all of us, and sometimes it's a big stress even to go to interview for the person. And as a resource manager, personally, I try to understand why it's stress, try to help to solve this. Actually, you can try to make like an assessment between you and your subordinate. Yep. and this can help him to break this. But if you don't want to grow inside your company, this is the problem that should solve your resource manager. And usually resource managers try to understand why you don't want to grow. If the reason is really that you don't want more responsibility and you're okay to, like, you're doing your work maybe in 4 hours instead of 8, yep, because you have very big experience and very high skill, and you're okay with your salary, then usually there is no questions to you. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for presentation. I have a question. You mentioned about assessments and interviews. So during assessment, what points do you pay attention more? Number of technologies that person worked, or maybe general engineering knowledge, such as maybe solid, dry keys, and so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you, Dmitry. First, for all, because not all here maybe are IPAMAs, what is assessment? This is our procedure, how person grow from one level to another level. So in order to switch to a higher, so to get the higher skill, you need to pass this procedure where there are several persons talk with you, ask you different questions, see your past experience, your profile, and then they make a decision if you are good enough to to go to next level. Yeah, so this is actually about which level we are talking about. If we are talking about senior developer, usually we're interested in your favorite framework, like Angular in core JavaScript. And this is actually enough. When you're a lead developer, it's very good when you also know what is Webpack, how to configure Webpack, even if you know that there is React CLI and you don't need to configure Webpack. Yep. And for lead developer, it's very good if you know a big variety of tools and can compare them, because usually lead developer make a decision what stack should we use, and lead developer start new project. Senior developers also start a new project, but not always. And as I mentioned previously, not all companies has lead developer title. So sometimes there is just only senior, or senior and first level of the senior and second level of the senior and maybe third level of the senior. In this way, if you want to be a good senior developer, it's better to know several tools.
What about engineering knowledge?
You're talking about HTTP, what is it, what is DNS?
Solid, dry, keys, architecture knowledge.
Actually, very good. These should be actually these things that should know all developers. What is Grasp, maybe what patterns. Is Solid. Sorry, what?
Maybe patterns.
Yep. This is actually what all should know. But when you are senior, you should understand it more deeply and understand how to use them in which cases. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Artyom, for your cool stuff that you presented today, and the pictures as well. You're cool.
You're welcome. Thank you for my wife, Olga. She's here.
And question is the following. What do you think about the tendency that engineers grow in wide as T-shaped engineers? Is it a good idea for you to be in a jack of all trades as opposed to master only one particular skill?
It's actually a very good question, because in ideal world, you actually should know a lot of technologies and be a master in all of them. This is what expected from a principal engineer. But if you're a senior developer, it's okay if you know several technologies and very, very, very good in it. But you need to understand that about 20 years ago, there was very popular ASP.NET MVC. Oh, sorry, ASP.NET wasn't this years. I don't remember exactly. Okay, 15 years ago, there is very popular GCP in Java, so using GCP pages, web, .NET Web Forms, .NET MVC, and so on. And there was a lot of sites that are based on this technology. And if you was very good in this technology, since 10 years, you actually wouldn't be able to find a job. So maybe you can, but I'm not sure. You can try to Google how to find, try to Google and find a job for how it's called, MVC Web Forms developer or Silverlet developer. So this would be very, very, very hard. So this is for your own safety to know as much as possible.
And for you as a manager, do you think that engineer that has many skills is more attractive for the market as opposed to engineer that has maybe superstar in one skill?
It actually depends which manager. If we're talking about resource manager, hiring manager, yes, I will hire this person with more higher probability because it would be much easier for me to find the project for this person. If we're talking about the companies that outsource their work, or companies that like a service for the client. So yeah, it would be much easier for me to, so if I hire the person that has a lot of skills to work with this person. But if I'm a project or delivery manager, I actually don't care how much skills. So it's actually very good if this person has a lot of skills. But if I have just scope, like I need to make several inputs on a lot of pages, I just need a front-end developer that's familiar with JavaScript and maybe with Angular or React, and it's okay. And I can hire a lot of people with various skills, and in some, there would be a team that can make a product. And but anyway, I need this person that would be a kind of architect and can do any work. But what I'm trying to say, if you know a lot of technologies, it's very good because you would be hired and finding a job with higher salary and it would be easier for you. But if no, it's okay too, because our world is rapidly changing and there is a lot of things that are going to be digital. And there is a lot of countries right now that are trying to make so they're trying to be paperless. Like in Ukraine, there is idea. In Belarus, they're trying to get rid from some portals and make them digital. So anyway, you will find a job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, the question from Andrei Ovchinnikov.
Thank you, Andrei. Personal.
Yes. So he asks, what about expert area branch?
Sorry, can you repeat?
He asks, what about expert area branch?
Expert area?
Yeah, so Andrei, could you please clarify it for us,
Expert area.
if you are still here?
I'm not sure what is an expert area, but so it's in big companies, they are growing rapidly. And so, okay, if we're talking about some small companies, like they have about 100 people. In this company, you will just have several project managers, several developers, and your CTO. Okay, let's go. No Scrum Master, no delivery manager, no solution architect, I believe would be, but no such variety of skills. At the same time, when you will work inside some big company like EPAM, like, I don't know, maybe Anderson, maybe IT Hard, they are very big. You will have actually a lot of person with a lot of different skills, but you need to understand that where you will work, it's not all the companies. There would be some specific work.
Yeah. So he says that you cannot. There is an expert branch in EPAM. You can be not only manager after lead position. You can go to expert position, not PM or DM. So Andrei, are we talking about advanced engineering positions? Yes, we're speaking with the chat.
Okay, Andrei. Advanced engineer. So actually very popular skill because you're still a developer. You're still working with code. So it depends. Not all of us like to work with code. Or after some period of time, people are tired, to work with code. But this person like it very much, and you need to have a really good skill to be a principal engineer. And these person are usually solve really very complicated tasks and tasks that other person just cannot do because they don't know how and what to do with these. And this is not only about the coding. So sometimes you need to make some new, virtual machine. And deploy and set up CI/CD for 30 minutes because you try to deploy your project and it's down. You don't understand what's happening. No one understands what's happening. And then we call for principal engineers that, okay, we will just delete this node and set up all from the scratch and set up all the processes, how CI is working on this machine. And then it's all working.
Yes, he said that it was all about advanced engineering. So yeah. So
Andrei, maybe you have some specific question for me about the principal engineer.
Silence. Awkward silence in chat.
No, we actually have a little delay, so
Yeah.
I believe we need to give him a time. Maybe some more questions till Andrei will reach us.
He says that he doesn't have anything.
Thank you, Andrei, for your questions. I really appreciate you.
Me too.
Oh. Okay, thank you very much.
Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and check social media links in the description below, so you will know about upcoming events here in Poland and can participate as a participant or maybe as a speaker.